Warm welcome. You're watching Headlines today. I'm Preeti Chaudhary. Our top focus story in this bulletin: a shocking case of a woman being stabbed in the heart of Delhi by a stalker has in fact, been caught on camera. The 28-year-old woman working with a multinational company was stabbed in a residential area of Karol Bagh. And these are the visuals which captured the stabbing. It was captured by one of the CCTV cameras of the shops in Karol Bagh. I'd like to cut across for further details to Vijay Kao, my colleague, who's been getting us details on that story. Vijay, can you take us through exactly what transpired? Because the CCTV footage that we are getting in, maybe it's the footage of the stalker and not the...
Well, Preeti, first of all, the CCTV footage in concern is of lane 9A in Karol Bagh locality. Now, the CCTV footage shows a suspicious person on a scooter and someone moving in the direction of the scooter. The CCTV footage also very clearly shows Simran, the woman in this case who was attacked. She too is walking. There is another man seen in a jacket in this particular CCTV footage who is following Simran. Suddenly, the CCTV footage also shows how Simran is attacked in a manner, and there are a lot of people who suddenly come and start surrounding her. So the Delhi police are now analyzing the details that they have from the CCTV footage. They also know that the girl in question was 26 years old. She was working in an MNC in Noida in the Delhi NCR region. She's a married woman. Her husband's name is Manmeet. They are natives of Jalandhar. However, they were staying near Moti Bagh in South Delhi. Yesterday, sources are telling us in the police that this girl in question had called her for her aunt, and she had said that she would be giving them a surprise in the evening. The Delhi police also say that the woman in question left her office at around 5 p.m. Yesterday, after which at around 6:15 p.m. is when she took a metro from Noida. Around 7:15 p.m. Preeti, there is CCTV footage of this particular woman exiting the Karol Bagh metro station, after which we have the CCTV footage of the lane in question, lane 9A of the Karol Bagh locality, where the girl was indeed attacked by unknown people. Back to you, Preeti.
Two quick questions, Vijay. Question one, what was the stalking incident? Exactly, if you could give us details on that. And question two, what is the girl's status in terms of health?
Well, Preeti, right now the police is analyzing the CCTV footage. They're also trying to find out the motive in this case, which is quite uncertain. And the police officials have formed a number of teams to investigate the matter. The girl's husband will also be questioned by the Delhi police to actually find out what could have prompted this incident. But so far, the Delhi police don't really have any concrete motives behind this particular incident that has taken place. Back to you.
What's the girl's health status, Vijay?
Well, Preeti, right now, they are saying, the police officers are telling us that the girl is indeed critical, but however, the doctors are still trying to find out as to what the injury, what's the status of her injuries. They're giving her all possible treatment.
All right, Vijay, stay on with us. We want to talk our viewers through the CCTV footage that they're seeing on the right-hand side of their television screen. This is a woman. The entire clip, because of the morbidity of it, is not being aired at this point of time. But you can clearly see a young woman walking there, right? You can see that on the right-hand side on your television screens, and she's being followed by somebody in a jacket. Now, later on, in just minutes from this clip, that person went on to stab this young girl repeatedly. All of this took place in Karol Bagh in South Delhi. Shocking as it is, nobody came to this girl's help. The 28-year-old woman works with a multinational company and was stabbed in this residential area of Karol Bagh. My colleague Vijay, who's been speaking to his sources within the Delhi police, says that till now, the Delhi police is at ends trying to establish motive here. That is the second clip that we are showing for our viewers. A crowd has gathered after this girl was stabbed repeatedly. She was rushed to the hospital from here on. That is the second part of the clip that you just saw. This was right in the beginning. This was captured where this girl is walking back to her house in lane 9 in Karol Bagh. And you can see this person following her in a jacket. And the second clip that we're going to just show you in just about a few seconds is after the stabbing, where this girl gets repeatedly stabbed by this man and a crowd rushes to her. I'd like to cut across to Shiv Arur, who's in the studio with us at this point of time, taking us through this news which has come in from Karol Bagh in South Delhi. Shiv, can you take us through exactly that clip that we are playing out for our viewers at this point of time?
Absolutely astonishing, frightening pictures coming from Karol Bagh, which is by no stretch of imagination, a remote part of the national capital, Preeti. Karol Bagh, as you know, is a crowded market area. This wasn't late at night. This was just 8:30 in the evening yesterday. It's usually a pretty crowded place. But what this CCTV camera has really captured is a crime in progress. This is a person who has stalked a woman who has arrived on a metro train to Karol Bagh. This is a person, a 28-year-old woman who works for a multinational company who looks like she's walking home. She's stalked by a person who follows her. The camera actually tracks the man following her. Then you see a bit of commotion and lots of people run to that area. She obviously has been stabbed. She's lost her life in this incident. But the most dramatic part of this video really, Preeti, is that, I repeat, this is a place, and the fact that so many people have already run towards that commotion shows that this is not, by no stretch of imagination, an abandoned area or remote area. This was a person who felt confident enough to actually stalk this woman, right there where there were obviously people around. The nature of this crime hasn't been established just yet. Was this a stalker? Was this a random robbery of some kind? Those details are still a part of the investigation. But what we do know now is that this video has captured a crime in progress. You don't see this very often. If you look very closely at the video, you see the man following the woman, and then you see a bit of commotion, and you see several people running over to where the crime was actually committed. Really, really terrifying stuff.
Stay on with us, Shiv. Those are two clips from two different CCTV cameras that we are witnessing at this point of time. This is a clip which is from a second camera which was captured after the first clip. Now, this is when this young girl is walking towards her house, and you can see her being tailed by a man in this jacket. Now, this is the alleged person who went on to stab this woman. Now, the second clip was captured from a different shop on the opposite side, and we're going to play that clip for our viewers in just about a few seconds. And that was what took place after this man repeatedly stabbed the woman he's following, clearly being seen here, and attracting a huge crowd. We're going to play that clip as well for our viewers. So two sets of CCTV camera footage pretty much depicting a crime most morbid, and that to be in the heart of South Delhi, Karol Bagh. Vijay Kao, my colleague who's been keeping track of developments and speaking to the Delhi police, is also on the phone line with us. Vijay, what are the leads that the Delhi police is working on? Is it just a stalking incident, or was there robbery involved? Vijay, can you hear me? All right, we seem to have lost Vijay. We're going to try and establish our telephone line link with Vijay. But I'd like to bring in Shiv, who studied the CCTV footage and also speaking to various people, and our reporters were on the ground trying to establish what exactly went down. Shiv, the police right now are still looking at what was the reason for this crime, but it does seem like a case of stalking.
Well, the details we were able to flesh out a little bit more detail what really happened here, Preeti. This 28-year-old woman who's who's so horrifically lost her life actually returned from Noida late last evening on a metro train. The information that our reporters have been able to get, through their sources in the police, is that she was followed from the metro station. She was actually followed by this man from a metro station to, to where she was going, which is her parents' house. Her husband has apparently told the police that it was her parents' house that she was going to. This we can confirm, with the latest information that we have, both from the video as well from our sources, Preeti, is that this was some kind of a robbery attempt. There were two men apparently who tried, who first tried to snatch her purse, just before she entered her parents' house. When she resisted, she was stabbed again in the chest, and that was probably the killing blow. But I just want to repeat for our viewers, the chain of events. She takes a metro train from Noida. She arrives in Karol Bagh. She gets off the metro train. From the station, she's followed. So the stalking part obviously happened. She's followed from there all the way up to the place where the stabbing actually happened. She resisted the robbery attempt. She was stabbed once again, probably in the chest, and that was probably the killing blow. But at no stage in this video does it appear that this was an abandoned area. This was obviously a place where there were people. So this was a desperate robbery attempt gone completely wrong.
All right, so that's what we can confirm right now. And Shiv, doesn't that make it all the much alarming? Because if you look at it, it's not a crime of passion, it's not stalking, it's not just this particular incident. If this is a case of robbery, then a young woman has been stabbed to death in a robbery attempt in South Delhi.
I mean, there are no words to describe, you know, the implications of this video, Preeti. You know, like I keep repeating myself, this happened, you know, in one of Delhi's busiest areas. It's busy, you know, even after the sun sets. So that gives you an impression of the impunity with which this crime has really been committed. You know, the implications as far as crimes against women, you know, robbery attempts of this kind happening, you know, in a very, very public area, you know, gives you a sense of how just how risky, you know, the already reputedly rough streets of Delhi really are. And see, no arrests have been made so far. There's CCTV footage, you know, to establish the crime, you know, to perhaps, you know, point fingers at the identity of the attackers. But there's been no headway just yet pointing to, you know, perhaps the efficiency of the investigation as well. But we're hoping to see some headway happen soon. This video is the main evidence.
That's what prompts me to my next question. Complete lack of policing here, Shiv, because if you actually look at this video, we're going on pointing it out and we can't point it out enough. The fact that this has taken place in a residential colony in Karol Bagh. Now what looks like, initial indications are suggesting that this was a robbery attempt. It wasn't a crime of passion, it wasn't stalking, it wasn't an isolated case. It could happen to any of you who was watching this particular broadcast, and because of it, questions will be raised, Shiv, on the lack of policing, with the impunity with which these people get away with the crime.
This video is going to pose a great list of questions to the Delhi police, Preeti. You're absolutely right. You know, neighborhood watch, police patrolling after dark, especially in residential areas. But the more disturbing aspect, you know, that this video really throws up is the confidence that criminals apparently have, Preeti. You and I have covered stories of this kind, you know, when we've put them out on headlines today in the last few months and weeks since the Nirbhaya incident. And what we've seen is an impunity, a complete confidence that despite CCTV videos, you know, despite the so-called measures being taken by the Delhi police, you know, and, you know, non-governmental organizations to increase the safety of women, to increase patrolling, to ensure that women feel safe, even in residential areas. The simple fact is they're trying to, you know, incidents of this kind completely, you know, completely sort of destroy the foundation of those beliefs.
Appreciate you joining us, Shiv, getting us the very latest on that story. We'll, of course, keep coming back to it right now.